obstructions. So 6 power lines and just 10 other road obstructions, be it trees or whatnot. So it's minimal right now. Hopefully that number will just kind of stay there and get smaller. But we know that more winds is to come. And again, we're just asking everybody to please stay inside until you hear word from first responders letting you know that it's okay to go out. The winds here have kind of been picking up and dying down. So I guess it's kind of giving some people a false pretense as to exactly what is going on. But again, this is a deadly storm, and we have not seen one of these since the early 1800s. So we're just asking everyone, please stay inside your homes.
You mentioned the trees that were down, and fortunately, as you said, you're not seeing too many. That was one of the things that Mayor Gillum mentioned earlier in his press conference and in an interview we had with him, something that you mentioned earlier, especially those canopy of trees, one of the things certainly that Tallahassee is known for. Are you still sharing some concerns about that?
Yes, as I was going to my hunker down station, there was a road called Centerville Road, which is known to be a canopy with already debris on that road. The trees are swaying. I was just praying that a tree wouldn't fall on me as I was going onto my station. So it is a big concern for us, and even when the storm is over with, because those trees and those branches are getting heavy from the rain, and the ground is saturated, so any gust of wind could blow even a branch or break a branch or turn a tree over any moment. But we're just we're ready in case those power lines are going down. I've been told that we have a lot of people, even from Texas and Oklahoma, here to help us with the recovery efforts as far as getting our power lines back up and restored should they go down.
Officer, this is the third storm to hit Tallahassee in the past 3 years. Have the 2 previous storms helped you prepare for today in the worst-case scenario?
I think so. The first one, just with a Category 1, because we haven't seen one in a long time, and as a resident of Tallahassee, I remember Hurricane Kate when I was a child. Just the destruction that we saw with that. With the one we saw, I believe, with 2016, just with that Category 1 storm, it was, the trees really became a big concern because it was basically a holdup with getting our power and everything restored. So the second storm, you saw people going out, getting those supplies, getting those generators, stocking up, not waiting to the last minute to get things. And as early as June Tuesday, people were starting to stock up and getting gas for the generators and gas vehicles, and just preparing for the worst. With this, a lot of people have gone out of town and going into your South Florida or out east, and some people have actually come into our town as far as those from the surrounding counties on the coastline. And so, again, all of our hotels are booked up. Just Airbnb is available right now, from what I've been told, and for about a little over 1,400 people who are in our area shelters at this time. But again, we're asking, if you're not already, if you have planned for a shelter, just stay on right now and just hunker down. But in the event that your home gets damaged later on, whenever we give the word, so feel free to go to any one of the local area shelters and just be tuned to your local news stations and social media outlets, and also talgov.com.
Are you pleased with how the city has responded? You seem pretty calm, cool, collected. It doesn't seem like you have major problems. Given a worst-case storm, you're faring pretty well?
Yeah. Just seeing everyone working together and just trying to get the job done, and relieving those who leave, and just we've got bunk beds in the or cot station in the Emergency Operations Center, and just people sleeping in their offices. So they're there for phone calls, just trying to get everything together, make sure everything goes smoothly. And then, of course, we ask for the help of the National Guard, so we have them come to help us as well. But it's just a collective effort. We're just glad that we actually have the facility, one of the state-of-the-art facilities had here built recently, just to be able to have everybody under one roof. Real tremendously.
Officer David Miller with the Tallahassee Police Department, thank you for taking the time to talk to us this afternoon. And good luck.
Yes, sir. No problem. Thank you.
Alan, we have had people mention up and down our coverage area, the different reporters that we've got, and we heard Officer Miller saying there, the ebbs and flows with the wind, and people getting that false sense of security a moment ago. And usually you see that with the eye, but this seems to be kind of throughout the storm that it's up and down.
Yeah, you have these up and down, these wind gusts, and a lot of times they're coming in with these rain bands as the winds start to pick up, and then they sort of die down. I mean, we've certainly seen that across extreme northwest Florida and then over around the Tallahassee area. Same kind of deal as really this storm is right smack in between where, Pensacola and Tallahassee are, and then the Panama City area. They've got that eye wall and then the eye and then the calming from the actual eye. In fact, the National Hurricane Center in a 2 p.m. statement mentioning that, hey, they want people to be careful because that calm eye, I've never experienced it, but it's a remarkable thing when that calm eye actually comes over you because the winds just stop. I mean, everything is just dead still, and then they pick up from the other direction. I know, Bob, you've experienced it.
Yeah, it's a spiritual moment. And we're looking at the radar now as it's approaching Tallahassee, and they're going to see they're not going to see the inside of the eye, but they're going to see that strong shift. They're seeing that southerly flow right now, and now they're going to see the western as that storm seems to be taking that more of a right-hand turn and catching those westerlies as it's going to head east. They're going to see a strong wind out of the west very shortly.
Yeah, certainly Tallahassee right now, they've got that wind. It's out of the south, and it's, tropical storm force winds are going to be experienced around that area. And then once this moves up into Georgia, sure, as it rotates in that counterclockwise fashion, that wind will just end up being out of the west for Tallahassee and spinning around in that area. But you can see how already this eye, it is overland, and we should start to see our weakening. So, there's a position update and some more information from the National Hurricane Center. They did put out some wind gusts, Tyndall Air Force Base with a 119 mile per hour gust. The FSU Panama City campus had a 116 mile per hour gust. The University of Florida Mexico Beach Station 104. I mean, we've got some pretty incredible gusts there, and in that eye wall, it was just a persistent non-stop as it was a Category 4 and marked it with winds of 155 miles per hour. I mean, you get one. Well, the Mexico City Beach. Let's see what I say that wind gust was. That one was 104 miles per hour. But as the National Hurricane Center, as it was moving on shore, they stated that it had winds of 155 miles per hour. They're using the hurricane hunters and stuff, and they're finding a wind within the storm using those drop sondes and stuff. And Ashley reported on that last night. If our viewers happen to catch that, she flew around with the hurricane hunters yesterday and kind of gave an example of what happened. So those are basically like little tiny well, they're not tiny, they're little tubes of weather stations that fall out of the airplane. They shoot them out of the airplane, and they go and they gather this data and actually use all that data, and they plug it into the forecast models, and it really helps to predict what's going to happen with a storm. So they ended up marking that at 155 miles per hour at Category 4 hurricane, and that is just shy of 5. They mark it in 5 mile per hour increments. You bump up to that next notch of 160 miles per hour, and that would have been considered a Category 5 hurricane. I mean, these numbers either way, it's a devastating hurricane, a major hurricane, 3, 4, or 5. When Ivan hit the Northwest Florida Panhandle area, it was a Category 3 hurricane doing just extensive damage, and we're going to see extensive damage out of those areas around Mexico Beach, Panama City Beach, all those areas around there, right on down toward Apalachicola.
We're seeing some of that damage in some of the videos that we're able to access right now. But like you said, it's as we get a few hours into this, and certainly into tomorrow when we get more pictures and more of those images. There's a mother who just posted on Facebook that she was contacted by her son. He's in Weaver Hitchka. The roof on his building came off, and obviously we can understand her concern. But roof gone on a building.
Roof gone, and then you're in that, or you're trying to figure out where the safe place is to be while you have to ride out and wait